In this exercise, we will create a VO model for a watershed. This exercise will mainly focus on the basic operation of VO. We will use default parameters and storms. You will get familiar with VO concept and workflow after completing this exercise. Please download the attachment for practicing and viewing the results from the link in the description of this video. Open Visual OTTHYMO. You can modify the size of the toolbox and project manager windows by the cursor. Now click on New Project and select New OTTHYMO project. It's good to have a watershed layout reference when creating the model schematic. VO can add a picture as the background in the canvas. To set the background, right-click on the canvas and choose Background and change background. Then go to the sample that you downloaded and select background.jpg located in the data file. By scrolling down or up, you can zoom in or zoom out. And by pressing the scroll wheel, you can move the background in the proper position. And as you can see, the background has two urban subcatchments, 1003 and 1005, and three rural subcatchments, 1001, 1002, and 1004. To create a Stanhyd for urban catchment, navigate to the toolbox, which is the left sidebar on the screen in the default setting, select Stanhyd and drag it to the desired location. A new Stanhyd will be created in the given location with all default parameters. Then navigate to the Properties menu and click on it, and then click on the Stanhyd, and then you can change the name of the Stanhyd to 1003. Spend some time to see what parameters are available and what are the default values. And remember, if you keep the mouse pointer on a property for 2 or 3 seconds, you can see an explanation for that property. Notice that the default hydrograph has been assigned to the new Stanhyd. You can see the rain data under the Project Manager tab and then rain data. And if you double click on Default Chicago, you can see the hyetograph. Continue to rename another Stanhyd for subcatchment 1005 as 1005. To create a NasHyd for rural subcatchments, use the same method to create 3 NasHyds. Select the NasHyd in the toolbox and drag and drop NasHyds on the proper location on the canvas. Then rename them as 1001, 1002, and 1004. After adding the hydrologic objects, we can label them. To do so, choose the 5 hydrologic objects by drawing a rectangle on canvas, right-click, and select Set Labels to open the label editor. On the left side, you can see the list of all available properties that could be added as a label. Notice that some of them are hydrograph summaries that will only have a value after the simulation, for example peak flow and time to peak. As no results are available at this stage, only add name as the label property, and to do this, you need to select the name and drag and drop it to the right panel. Also, choose a background color for the label at the bottom of the window and click OK to apply the settings. As you noticed, the label does not show up on canvas after the setup because labels are not visible by default. To show the labels, keep the hydrologic object selected and right-click on the canvas again and choose Show Labels. Stanhyd and NasHyd generate hydrographs. These hydrographs are then passed through channels by route channel to the downstream. To create a route channel, select Route Channel in the toolbox and drag and drop it to the canvas. Note that the symbol for the 3-route channel is red outlined, which means there are errors associated with them. Error details can be found in the error list window, usually located at the bottom. It says, a source link is required, which reminds the user that the route channel must have an input. If you double-click on the errors in the error list, VO will zoom into the properties that the error belongs to. To fix the error, you have to connect the Stanhyds and NasHyds to the route channel. You can connect a Stanhyd or NasHyd by moving the mouse pointer on top of them, and when the cursor changes to a cross, you can click and hold the left click on the mouse and release it on the proper route channel. Notice that the outlet of the Stanhyd is set to the ID of the connected route channel automatically. The same way, you can change the name of route channels to 2001, 2002, and 2004. The connector could also be created by changing the outlet property directly. To do this, choose Stanhyd 1005 on the canvas and change the outlet to 2004 in the property grid. Notice that a connector is added automatically on the canvas pointing from Stanhyd 1005 to route channel 2004. Also connect Stanhyd 1004 to the route channel 2001. Now 2 Stanhyds and 1 NasHyd have been connected to route channels. The other 2 NasHyds don't have a downstream channel. Instead, all the hydrographs will be added together at the watershed outlet. To represent this, add an NasHyd to add hydrographs from these 2 NasHyds. The 2 channels, which are 2002 and 2001, also flow to the outlet. Now, most of the hydrologic objects are connected except channel 2004. Since a route channel can only have one input link and channel 2001 already has an input link from NasHyd 1004, an NasHyd can be added to join channel 2004 and NasHyd 1004 together and then output to channel 2001. To do this, first add another NasHyd at the end of channel 2004 and add a connector from route channel 2004 to this NasHyd. Second, right-click on the connector between NasHyd 1004 and route channel 2001 to delete it and add a new connector from NasHyd 1004 to the new NasHyd. Third, connect the new NasHyd to channel 2001. All hydrologic objects are created and connected. We are ready to set up the hyetograph and run the simulation. As we explained, a default hydrograph has been created in the model. It's a Chicago design storm lasting for 4 hours and with a total rainfall volume of 78 mm. Click the Run button located at the Simulation ribbon to open the Batch Run window. Simulation runs can be created for different storms. a default simulation has been created to run the model with the default rain. We will use this default simulation to run the model. Click the Run button to run the model. A hydrograph is the main output in VO. It can be viewed by a graph, table, summary text, and label. Select the NasHyd located at the outlet on the canvas. Notice that the buttons located in the output section in the simulation ribbon are enabled. All these buttons are used to view results in a different format. The Hydrograph button, as you see here, gives the hydrograph graph. Multi-graph can be shown here for comparison. The Flow Data button, as you see here, gives the hydrograph table. The Hydrograph Result button gives a summary of the hydrograph in table format. The Detail Output button gives the detailed text output. Note that the information shown is dependent on the selected hydrologic object. Since all the work is done, we want to save all of our work. Click the Save Project button to save all the information, including all hydrologic objects and storms, to a project file. Feel free to ask your question in the comment section. Thank you for staying with us.